What actually happens to your body when you die in space? Picture this for a second. Down here on Earth, if something goes wrong, help is close. An ambulance is minutes away. A doctor, a neighbor, even a stranger on the street can step in. Now picture being 250 miles above the planet. No ambulance, no hospital, no one coming around the corner to save you. And that brings up a question almost nobody thinks about. What actually happens if a person dies in space? Not in some movie, not in a sci-fi novel. For real. Does the body explode? Does it freeze in an instant? Does it just drift off into the dark forever? The truth is weirder than anything Hollywood has ever shown us. But before we get into what happens after death, there's something even more unsettling we need to talk about first. Space doesn't kill you fast. It kills you differently. For almost all of human history, death happened somewhere familiar. In villages, in cities, on battlefields, inside homes. Every culture on Earth built rituals around death, because death was always nearby. Something you could see, touch, prepare for. Space breaks that completely. Your body evolved under nearly 100 kilometers of air pressing down on it. Every cell expects that pressure. Every breath, every heartbeat, every drop of blood moving through your veins depends on it. The second you leave that layer of protection, your body finds itself somewhere it was never built to survive. No air, no sound, no weather, no smell, nothing alive at all. Just vacuum. And here's the strange part. The vacuum itself isn't even the scariest thing. Back in 1971, during a NASA test in a vacuum chamber, something went wrong. A technician's pressure suit failed, and for a few terrifying seconds, his body was exposed to conditions close to what you'd experience in open space. Years later, he talked about the last thing he remembered before he blacked out. He could feel the moisture on his tongue starting to boil. Not from heat, from the complete absence of pressure, the thing that normally keeps liquid. That one detail clears up the biggest misconception about dying in space. You don't explode. You don't freeze solid in an instant. What actually happens is your body fighting a losing battle against the laws of physics, and physics doesn't lose. The first thing to go is your ability to breathe. Within seconds, your oxygen crashes. Your vision starts closing in. Your thoughts slow down. And your brain, the most power-hungry organ you have, starts shutting things down, one system at a time. But here's where it gets really strange. Because once you're unconscious, space still isn't done with you. Not even close. What happens next depends entirely on where you died. Inside a spacecraft, on the moon, on Mars, or completely alone, drifting in open space. And each of those scenarios tells us something we never expected about what it means to be human. Because really, the question isn't just what happens to a body after death. The bigger question is what happens when death leaves Earth behind entirely. For the first time ever, we're getting ready to build permanent homes beyond this planet. And at some point, someone isn't coming back. When that day comes, every culture, every religion, every tradition we've ever created around death is going to run into a problem no civilization has ever faced before. How do you bury someone where there's no ground to dig? How do you honor a life in a place that was never meant to hold one? To answer that, we have to start at the very beginning, the moment the heart stops. Because in space, that's just where the story starts.